Hello again, everybody. It's time for some Wrestling with Power. Mosley here. Slick Vic is there. We're all here. Everybody's here. It is the 16th of June, 2026.
Woo! Woo!
Okay. Tuesday, once again. I think last week we were doing this on Wednesday because, that's just what we did. So, but yeah, we're back on schedule tonight, live on Facebook. Slick Vic, how are you doing, sir?
Is this on? Sorry, I had a flashback there to Beavis and Butthead. I'm well. Let's just say I'm well. Just well.
Are you
How are you?
Well?
Well, I'll tell him, Hawk. Well,
You know what? You just reminded me of something that I forgot to put on recent news, but we'll talk about it here in just a moment because it's big news for us here at Wrestling with Power. But yeah, so how close are we now? We're getting closer to Night of Champions, man. It's right around the bend. What is it? 2 weeks away? 3 weeks away, something like that.
Something like that. I think we got another series of shows. Yeah, a week from Saturday, the 27th.
Week from Saturday. Okay, so we're in the finals, which we'll get to when we talk about SmackDown and Raw, and then we'll go over the brackets again. But we're past all the semis, and now we're into the finals. We're in the semifinals. I'm sorry. We're whatever they call the early ones. We're past that. Is that right, Slick Vic?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We're in the semis. And we're down to what? 4? We got 4. So 2 matches. I don't know when they're supposed to have them, but you pretty much assume that it's going to be sometime between Friday and, well, they'll probably do that. I'd say they'll have one on SmackDown and one on Raw. Would that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like this week's SmackDown and then next week's Raw.
Mm-hmm. We already know one of the male finalists.
Yes. Okay. So Okay. All of this stuff is running together. Anyway, it'll make more sense, maybe, here in just a moment when we talk about it. But first, let's talk about some recent news, Slick Vic. What do you say?
Lay it on me, man.
All right. Recent news, Slick Vic, while I'm thinking about it, because you mentioned Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead dropped on Netflix today. The series dropped on Netflix today. Let me be more specific. It's got season 1 and 2 of the newer seasons on there. And then it's got the Mike Judge collection episodes. Volumes 1, 2, and 3 of... Yeah, I was watching it earlier. So
I thought it was an exclusive to Paramount. This is good news.
This is very good news. I thought the same, and I have Paramount, so, I watch it on Paramount anyway, but I don't watch Paramount a lot. Like, you know what I mean? I think my first instinct, and most people's first instinct, if they're going to watch something, is probably going to be to fire up Netflix. Just makes it so much easier when something's on Netflix. I wish they would just have a monopoly over everything. That way I could just have Netflix and nothing else.
Yeah, the world's not that easy.
No. Not unless you have a VPN.
Even then, that doesn't get you everything.
But yeah, Beavis and Butthead. We've talked about Beavis and Butthead plenty of times on the show here, Slick Vic. We both are big fans of Beavis and Butthead.
Back in the day, we stopped this toilet called Highland.
Yeah. We met these 2 sluts.
It's like we're from Highland. Do you think these 2 sluts still live in Highland?
Yeah. He's like it, and then He talks about scoring. Butthead's dad talks about scoring, and Beavis is like, yeah, me too. And he smacks the shit out of him. He's like, no, you didn't. I scored with both of them.
It's like, you want to see something really cool? Butthead's dad pulls his pants down and farts into the fire.
Sets off friggin' nuke in the middle of the desert. Oh, such a good movie. Such a good movie. The movie's not on there, at least as far as I know yet. But the episodes, the Mike Judge collection, which I have on DVD, there were three different collections. Yeah, three different volumes. And I'm pretty sure that's what's on there as far as the old episodes go. So, you know, it's not the full effect, but it's been a long time since we've had the full effect. I don't even think you can actually get access to the original versions of the episodes with like the music videos included and everything. Due to music rights, I'm pretty sure it'd be impossible.
If you can find some of them scattered on YouTube, but you know, the quality is going to be not so great.
Maybe you could pirate them.
Maybe. I'm pretty sure there is some actually I'm like 100% sure you can find it if you look deep enough.
Yeah. But deep into the abyss.
One of my favorite music videos that they talk about is a song by Motorhead called No Voices in the Sky, where Butthead's like, you know who Lemmy looks like? That guy down the street that's always working on his car. Yeah, that guy parks his car on the front lawn. That guy's cool.
Yeah.
It's like the comment section is like something like, I think every town has that one guy that's always working on his car that's parked in the front lawn.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. My town has multiple. My town probably has at least 100 of those guys.
I remember, you know, growing up, living with my parents at the town we lived in. Yeah. Like literally 2 houses down, there was a guy working on his car in the lawn all the time. It's like it lived on his front lawn.
Yeah. And they work on it, but they never drive it because it's never to the point where it's drivable. They just keep working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know quite a few like that. But Beavis and Butthead, ladies and gentlemen, Netflix, go check it out if you haven't already. It's there for you. On to more news. It looks like Slick Vic, the CM Punk rumors have been making the rounds here lately. People are wondering where he's at. There's been some rumors that maybe he's like quitting the WWE, which I think is, you're pretty certain that's not true. But this is more positive, I guess. CM Punk planned for the SmackDown brand, allegedly. So apparently when he comes back, he's going to be on the Blue brand, which makes sense because Roman is, you know, as the world champion now, is kind of ventured over to Raw. So it seems like a fair trade, right?
Yeah, totally. And plus, I don't know if you caught this little blurb on Raw, but they're talking about how they advertise how Punk is going to be at a upcoming WWE Fan Fest, which I think pretty much confirms he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, okay. I didn't catch that. Actually, as far as Raw goes, I'm sure I've probably missed some sections of Raw, even though I watched it. We're in a slow grind period here, I feel like. So, you know,
you're forgiven. You're forgiven.
So, all right. But I mean, yeah, SmackDown. I tell you what, though, I wish SmackDown would just go to Netflix full time worldwide. I think it sucks that it's on cable when the world sort of moved on from that, and you gotta have so many outlets to watch WWE these days. Why not just go ahead and put it on? It's already on Netflix everywhere in the world besides the U.S. Why not go ahead and put it on there for the United States? That's what I'm saying. I would be in favor of that.
As Vince McMahon said, it's all about the money.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, especially nowadays. I kind of miss Vince. On to further news. Department of Justice approves Paramount's $111 billion purchase of of Warner Brothers Discovery. Slick Vic, we talked about this a while back. Netflix was actually going to be buying Warner Brothers Discovery, or so we thought, and then Paramount swooped in and placed a higher bid, and then it was sort of up in the air whether the government was going to let it go through or not, but apparently they are letting it go through, and this could mean all kinds of different things. The WB catalog is massive, so this could mean a lot of different things, but we'll just sort of try to focus on the wrestling part of it. HBO Max is owned by WB. So that means that Paramount will now own HBO Max. And from that, you would assume that they would just absorb HBO into Paramount Plus, right? Well, I have two different streaming options there. You could just combine it all together. That would make Paramount Plus a hell of a lot better. And it would make HBO Max a hell of a lot better. But then there's AEW. And WB has a stake ownership in AEW. So AEW programming is put on HBO Max. And you can get their pay-per-views on HBO Max too. You got to pay like a extra fee or whatever, but Dynamite is live on HBO every week from what I understand. So we'll circle back to the Paramount deal. Paramount is in cahoots with TKO because Paramount has UFC. So what does that mean for AEW going forward? It's been a topic of contention over the past several months. I don't know. Slick Vic, you got anything? What do you think's going to happen?
Well, this also means that Paramount will now own Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Yeah, more importantly to you and I would think.
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about this several episodes back, how, Warner Brothers owns a lot of IPs, and then they're all going to be under the same umbrella, I guess, as Paramount acquires it all. That includes DC Comics. So yeah,
I'm okay with that because in my mind, and I'm thinking small scale here, I'm not a bigwig business dude, but like Paramount is a awesome company. Like every time, like, okay, when you think about like Friday the 13th, I think of that Paramount opening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Paramount actually owns Friday the 13th now, or if it's New Line. I don't know who owns it now, but like, there's so many movies and franchises. Paramount, I think, owned like all of the Nickelodeon stuff. And
Star Trek.
Right? And Star Trek, there you go. I mean, so all the cool stuff is going to be in one place.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting, man.
What does that mean for AEW? Don't know. Are they going to kick them to the curb? I don't know. See, what's interesting is like, it's not really known how profitable AEW is because they're kind of hush-hush about it, like their ratings and their numbers and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Do you think they'll keep them around? Will that cause problems with the TKO overlords to have a competing wrestling brand?
I don't know. Maybe they can think they can acquire it.
Maybe they'll buy their competition.
I don't know, man. Time will tell. Unfortunately, my crystal ball has a bigger fish to fry than.
Yeah, it can't look. The crystal ball can't look that far ahead. I'm sure we're talking a while from now, but it's interesting to think about considering it's all actually happening. So now it's like it's definitely happening. We're going to see it happen. So anyway, from the $111 billion purchase of Warner Brothers, we move on to the $2.something billion purchase of Pizza Hut. So Yum Brands, what a segue. Yum Brands owns Pizza Hut. Based in Louisville, Kentucky, Yum Brands owns Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell. And they're selling off Pizza Hut. They're getting rid of it. They're finally parting ways after years of apparently trying to make them more profitable. They're selling them off. Now, that doesn't mean that Pizza Hut's going away, but some other company is buying half of it. And then, like, a company in China is buying the other Chinese portion. So it's a weird split how they're doing this. But Pizza Hut, man. How do you feel about Pizza Hut?
I love Pizza Hut. You kidding me? Love Pizza Hut. I like the meat lovers stuffed crust with extra cheese. That's my go-to.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I love that stuffed crust pizza. Their pan pizzas are delicious. But I also remember growing up, I think we talked about this once too, where I remember growing up to going to Pizza Hut was kind of like an event. You know, they had like they were more built like restaurants. My local one had a Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet, which I pumped a lot of quarters into.
Yeah, like back in the day, it used to be a lot cooler because they had those, like every one of them had a Mortal Kombat cab in it, whether it was 2 or 3. It was usually 2 or 3. I don't remember ever seeing a MK1.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it used to be a lot cooler back in the day. It used to have birthday parties at Pizza Hut from time to time.
Yeah. But I love Pizza Hut. I think it's great pizza. It's usually like a go-to whenever, like at my house at least, you know, if we're watching PLE, let's get some Pizza Hut.
Yeah, do you know what? That's interesting to me, Slick Vic, because maybe it's just in my town, we had 2 Pizza Huts. In my small-ass town, we had 2 Pizza Huts growing up, and eventually one of them closed. And then the main one stayed open, of course. And I've seen it go through some changes over the years. You know, for a long time, they went without their dining room, and now the dining room's back open. Me and Deborah actually went last weekend and ate in there. And it was good. It was nice. And I like Pizza Hut too, man. I'm a big fan of Pizza Hut. But you're from Chicago, and you've got all of these options around you, especially when it comes to deep dish pizza. But you still have a love for Pizza Hut.
I do. But it's not
That's
just
awesome.
Pizza Hut. I have a love for a lot of pizza. I mean, if I'm in the mood for Domino's, they let you customize the hell out of it on their app, and they don't charge you an arm and a leg for each additional topping you add. I like Papa John's is pretty good. They have a pretty good stuffed crust as well. There's also like a lot of mom and pop pizza places. Like there's one really close to me called Vinny's, and they make some excellent pizza, some good thin crust. When I'm in the mood for some thin crust, like tavern style pizza,
Yeah,
I'll get Vinny's. But
so
then
it's not like sacrilege to get thin crust pizza up there.
No, not at all. No, but you know,
is it as bad as putting ketchup on a hot dog?
No, that's a sin. No, thin crust is acceptable.
Yeah. Ketchup is not acceptable on the hot dog.
Not on a hot dog. No, it's blasphemy. That and being a White Sox fan.
Deborah likes ketchup on her hot dogs, and I told her, I said, if we ever go to Chicago, you can't do that. We'll get thrown out. They'll literally throw us out of the place. But I like mustard. I don't like ketchup on a hot dog. I'm a big fan of mustard.
I do too.
Mustard
like
and
mustard.
chili and onions. That's the way I go with mine.
Very good. Yeah, Chicago style. They put a lot of onions and relish, and sometimes like some people like peppers.
Oh yeah, like if you get a Chicago dog, it's made almost like a hamburger. Like they got tomatoes on there and a dill pickle sphere, and
yeah,
it's crazy. And that green relish, that weird green, it's really good, but it's very different. Sesame seed bun.
Yeah, poppy seed, but yeah,
poppy seed bun. Yeah, I'm sorry, poppy seed bun.
Yeah. Have you been to Portillo's in Chicago?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a very authentic Chicago dog right there.
That's good. And I think when I went there, I don't remember what I got. It was it was just a sausage dog, you know. But what's the
Mm-hmm.
place? I'm never going to think of the name, but we've went to this place a couple of times, maybe even more than a couple of times. Um, at the marathon, I'm not going to think of what the name of this place is, but I can tell you this: it's on a corner of a street, and it was built inside of what used to be like a fire station. Do you know the
Hmm.
place I'm talking about?
Not quite. What did you get from there?
Chicago dog.
Hmm. You sure it
Yeah,
wasn't
they
the
got
Portillo's?
milkshakes. No, it wasn't Portillo's. They got burgers. I've had burgers there. Oh man, I wish I could think of the name of this place. All I remember is that it was in an old it was like an old fire station. Um I'm gonna do a little Google searching. I mean, I'm searching Illinois, so it's probably not gonna uh
All right, detective mode. Let's see.
what is that place, man? What is that place? Uh this
Sound
is
like Bud
not
there.
it now. Yeah, this is not. Oh man, I would know it if I saw a picture of it. I'm seeing a lot of places that are named after fire stations, and I don't think this is one. I think the name is completely different.
Is it wood fire that's coming up on your search?
No, I didn't see that one.
Wood fire brick oven pizza.
Our Holly friend would instantly know the name of this place, but
Well, we'll have to come back there. We'll put a pin or a hot dog or a pickle spear in inside that and come back to it later.
yeah,
By the way, that's like
yeah.
the only time I like pickles, man. When it comes with a hot dog, not the biggest pickle guy.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like pickles on my burger. I don't like pickles on my sandwich. Most sandwiches, unless it comes with a hot dog and it's like a pickle spear. I'm in.
You know, I like pickles on certain things too, kind of the same way. It just depends because the pickle can be completely different. You know, you've got the pickles from, you know, certain fast food places will be okay, for example. With certain kind of sandwiches, the spears are great. And then you've got like Wendy's. I'll eat the pickles on a Wendy's burger,
Okay.
but I had a boss one time that called them kerosene cucumbers. And ever since then, I can't get that out of my head. That's really kind of what they kind of smell like kerosene. So, yeah, he got
Oh
really
man.
pissed when they changed those pickles. But
Well,
anyway,
before
we'll figure out what that restaurant is at some
what
point.
what's your go-to for Pizza Hut? I already told you mine. Do you have a go-to?
Oh, um, you know, I'm pretty much exactly the same as what you said. Deborah's a big fan of Meat Lover's pizza. I was never really like if I would get a pizza, I would get like sausage and pepperoni, extra cheese. That's, you know, perfect for me. Back in the day, I used to like getting sometimes pepperoni and banana peppers. I'm a big fan of banana peppers. But she likes the Meat Lover, so usually what we'll do is we'll get a Meat Lover stuffed crust, extra cheese, and
Delicious.
we'll get like a pepperoni for the kids.
One final question about pizza. Does pineapple belong on a pizza?
Sure.
Okay. I
I
mean,
think anything can go on a pizza that you want to go on a pizza. I don't know why it has to be an argument like does this belong in there? No, it doesn't. Well, if somebody likes it, I mean, some places will put anchovies on pizza. And I don't know anybody that eats that shit anymore. You'd rather
what
have like
about
little fish on a pizza than a
yeah?
pineapple? I
I,
love
I always think
pineapple,
of
dude.
I always think of Ninja Turtles when it comes like no anchovies, dude.
Yeah, yeah. You can get them. I think, like, if I'm not mistaken, like Papa John's, you can still get anchovies put on your
I think,
pizza.
yeah, you can get them most places here. Yeah,
Really? I don't
yeah.
think I've ever. I think I unintentionally had anchovies on a pizza in Italy one time. I didn't know what it was, and I ate it anyway, and it wasn't that great. So, yeah, I'm not trying to
No.
find out, but
All right.
all this talk of food's making me hungry.
You gonna go place an order on the Pizza Hut app to have it delivered?
Nah, it's a bit too late. I already ate today. Good. And let's see, we got a couple more things here, Slick Vic. Tessa Blanchard is in the news recently, asked for her TNA release and was granted it. I also read that this was likely due to the fact that she also wrestles for CMLL. CMLL pays her more and books her more, and they didn't want there to be any crossover. That could be, because of AEW's closeness with CMLL now. Like AEW and CMLL are buddies. WWE and TNA are buddies. WWE owns AAA, which would logically be like a competitor to CMLL if you think. But anyway, you can dig as deep as you want in it. The main headline here, Tessa Blanchard asked for TNA release and was granted it. Okay, I don't watch TNA, so unless it means that she's coming to WWE, it's whatever.
I mean, whatever for me too. I've seen only a handful of Tessa Blanchard matches. I was, at one point I remember thinking it would be nice to have her and Charlotte in the same company at one point because the Horsemen.
It would for sure.
But
That's what I'm saying. Like her heritage, whatever you want to call it, that would be a great storyline to see play out. But I don't think we're ever going to see it play out, at least anytime soon, in the WWE. But I don't know why she's never went. Has she ever been in WWE?
She was on like the Mae Young Classic. Do you remember that?
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
She was in one of she was in one of those, and I think there was reports going around that she was difficult to deal with, and so the WWE never hired her. And then she went to TNA, and then there was all sorts of accusations being thrown around there as well. So
I remember those matches she had with Sami Callihan.
Yeah.
Years ago. Those are some banger matches too. But for all you TNA fans out there, we're sorry.
We wish Tessa Blanchard the best in her future endeavors.
Yeah, stay powerful, Tessa. For our last bit of news of the evening, Slick Vic just came up a few moments ago. This really is breaking. Jelly Roll files for divorce from his wife, Bunny. And I had the article pulled up here. We'll learn about it together. Jelly Roll files for divorce from Bunny XO after nearly 10 years of marriage. Slick Vic, I remember they had some problems a while back. Like, I don't know what was going on, but let's take a look. Jelly Roll and Bunny XO are going their separate ways after nearly a decade of marriage. Country star 41 filed for divorce, Williamson County, Tennessee, on May 18th. According to documents obtained and court records viewed by People, this is on People's website, by the way, their date of separation is listed in the documents as May 9th, and the grounds for divorce are listed as irreconcilable differences. TMZ, irreconcilable.
Irreconcilable. Okay. I'm struggling with that word too. Don't worry about it.
I mean, yeah. TMZ was first to report the news. The following marks a surprising turn for a couple that has frequently shared their relationship publicly and, as recently as this year, appeared to be celebrating one another on one of music's biggest stages. Okay, so at the 2026 Grammy Awards in February, Jelly and Bunny packed on the PDA throughout the evening, sharing kisses and posing together, blah, blah, blah. The pair at a ceremony, etc., etc. Thanks his wife. Okay, well, that's about it. They're getting divorced. She's apparently 46, and looks like half of her is probably made of plastic, I would assume. But, Slick Vic, your thoughts?
This is the first I'm hearing about. I have no idea who Bunny is. Is she known for anything? Is she a country singer too? Is she an actress?
I think she's just a whore.
That's pretty stiff.
I caught you off guard there, Slick Vic. No, seriously, I think that like, what I remember is that, you know, Jelly Roll's a big dude, and apparently they couldn't, like, you know, they couldn't score with each other, so they had to score with other people. So she scored a lot with other people, and he knew about it, and it was a thing. So,
well, I'm sorry to hear about their divorce. I'm entertained by Jelly Roll's appearances in WWE. I hope we see him a few more times because, like I said, he's fine. Do you mind Jelly Roll on your wrestling TV?
I think that I'm over it. I think that he had a really good moment whenever he was doing the training, and they showed it all on the Unreal show, and we talked about that a while back. And he had his moment at SummerSlam, and then it was almost like they were bringing him back for this year's WrestleMania, but he ended up having a match on SmackDown instead, and we haven't seen him since. I think because it was falling flat, at least that's what I assumed. Like, people were over it, and I'm sorry, but I'm one of those people who are over it. I'm glad that he's a big fan and all of the work that he's put in to try to, you know, get to where he's at to be able to perform in the ring, but, like, I don't need to see him anymore, and honestly, I think that if we do see him, it needs to be a good number of years from now, because that story that he had leading up to SummerSlam was such a perfect, like, moment. If he keeps showing up, it's just going to tarnish, you know, that memory for me. So,
like, even if he just shows up to eat an RKO, that's
I don't need to see him. I don't know. I'm in the camp that doesn't really need to see that. It's not going to make the show any more or less entertaining for me, I think.
Fair enough. Yeah. Maybe he'll make a surprise appearance at the Rumble.
Probably. Anyway, we wish him the best in his future marital endeavors, and his wife, Bunny. That's it. That's all I got for news, Slick Vic. Shall we move on to some SmackDown? By the way, Kevin is in the chat. Big Kev, a.k.a. Big Kev.
What's up,
in
Big
the
Kev?
Chat. Thanks for joining, Big Kev. We're going to move on to some SmackDown here, and because we've got trivia coming up tonight, guys. I don't know if I mentioned it. I know I mentioned it last week, but I'm ready to go. I got my book open here. So we got a lot to get through. Trivia is going to main event the evening. Let's talk about some This Week in WWE, Slick Vic.
All right. We'll go to WWE. This is some history right away? All right. Well.
No. Not history. We're talking about SmackDown.
I thought you said this day in WWE. Oh,
I don't know, like, what
you were being literal. You were being literal, like today.
Yeah. This week in WWE. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This week week in WWE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we had a episode of Friday Night SmackDown on the 12th of June from Providence, Rhode Island. Jey Uso tells Cody he's going to win the King of the Ring and come for him. Cody says, cool, hope it's your decision. And then the announcers tell us that Rhea Ripley is hurt with a knee injury. Jade Cargill says she'll win the Queen of the Ring and come after Rhea. But let's pause there for a second. I don't know if you noticed. I read about it earlier today that Rhea Ripley has been removed from the poster for is it Night of Champions coming up? So
Yeah.
there's that.
I had heard rumors that she was injured, and I was hoping it wasn't true, but apparently it is legit. And yeah, that sucks. Night of
Yeah.
Champions is not a Night of Champions. I don't know why. Why don't they just name it King of the Ring again? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyways, we have
Sucks.
our last of the four-way matches tonight. One featuring the men, and then this one right here featuring the women. We got Charlotte Flair, Sol Ruca, Lyra Valkyria, and Jade Cargill. First off, I love Charlotte's robe. It kind of reminds me of the Demigorgon from Stranger Things. I thought it looked badass. The match was pretty fun. While I would have preferred someone other than Charlotte get the W, I ain't too mad. I'll get over it. I couldn't help but see the botched figure four at the end, but hey, Soul hit a nice, clean soul snatcher. Your soul is mine.
Oh shit!
Your soul is mine.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard for a second there, Flicker. Yes.
All right. So Chelsea Green's in the back, and she backs up Tiffany Stratton from BFAB and Meechin in a humorous spot. Big pop for Chelsea. Jacob Fatu is here, and he's here to see Solo. Blake Monroe is coming to SmackDown. Gunther says the stipulation is he gets to pick the referee. We'll find out later. Finn Balor is psyched to be on SmackDown. And then him and Damian Priest have a nice little 10-6 exchange, history, bringing up some Judgment Day business. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then we got a tag match for the women's tag team title. We got Paige and Brie versus Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed. I was really hoping Fatal Influence would get the tag titles here, but not tonight. This was a nothing match. How much longer until Nikki Bella finally comes back? The last real good guy, Sami Zayn, is still talking to
like that
sad
shirt.
Johnny Gargano. Yeah, last real good guy.
I like that merch. Yeah, that new shirt he's got is awesome.
Okay. Danhausen is taking money for curses, and then Kit Wilson comes in, and Miz is acting all funny because he got shocked, and Kit Wilson gets electrocuted himself. And all right. So Sami Zayn comes out and he says you can boo him or ride or die with him. Then calls out Cody Rhodes. They bicker again. Felt like the same old. But then Cody says Sammy sucks, which I'm sure you popped really hard for. This time, Sammy responds by slapping Cody, but then apologizes, grabs a chair, but then walks away. Boring. Jacob Fatu tells Solo that Roman Reigns says it's time to come home to the bloodline. Solo laughs it off and berates Jacob and tells him he can go to hell. And Jacob says, well, after he's finished with Roman Reigns' business, he's coming for him. Anyways, Rey Fenix and Axiom. I can't recall. Was this did they actually put, I don't know if they put the AAA, it was for a AAA world title, I think.
I think it was for the Cruiserweight Championship. AAA Cruiserweight title.
Okay. All right. Well, Rey Fenix has got more title. Rey Fenix has got more title defenses than Liv Morgan has. Anyways, it's a minor detail. This was all right. This is what you'd expect from these two guys. Fast-paced action. Axiom hits a unique counter when Phoenix was going for the springboard move into a German suplex. I had never seen that before. That was cool. And that Mexican muscle buster. I don't know if I've seen that move yet before either. We haven't seen Rey that much on WWE TV lately. But when he busted that out, that was pretty cool. I liked it. All right, that's about the halfway point, Mosley. What are your thoughts on SmackDown so far?
It's decent. It's I don't know, man. We're dealing with a lot of filler here. I kind of want to talk about that Queen of the Ring semifinal match because who did you have winning that? You had Valkyria winning that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And who did I have winning it? I don't remember who I said was going to win it, but I'm pretty sure it was one of the two, either her or Sol Ruca. So we're kind of in uncharted waters here, man, because every week we look at these brackets and we make predictions and none of it happens. we
No,
suck
man.
when it comes to predicting this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Charlotte Flair, I mean, come on. Why? Like, and we'll talk about this sort of similar situation going on Raw. Nah, I don't know. I wasn't a real big fan of that. The segment, the funny segment with Danhausen, and you know what I really wanted to see? I wanted to see The Miz be sort of like, remember when Goldust got electrocuted? And he went
Yes.
around, he sold it everywhere. He even sold it on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
it's like,
He had like that
it gave him
stutter.
Tourette's.
Yeah. I was going to say stutter, but yeah, like the Tourette's syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of hoping to see that, but yeah, it's sort of weird. I mean, it's sort of, it's a comical thing. It's a comical segment, but it was okay. And I like Sammy's shirt. I don't like Sammy, but I like his shirt. It's good stuff.
Did you watch the women's tag team match?
Yeah. It was okay.
Okay.
I didn't think much of it. They announced, what is it, next week? They're going to have both tag team championships are going to be on the line. I think they announced that on Raw. That the World Tag Team titles and the WWE Women's Tag Team titles are going to be on the line. What is it, next week on SmackDown? Pretty sure it's on SmackDown next week.
Okay. All right.
Which, to me, it's like, what? Why are we calling this Night of Champions? If you're not, why not put those matches on the Night of Champions? I don't know, man. There's so many confusing things going on.
It makes a lot of sense to have that, but what are you gonna do, man? We got a 5-match card every PLE now.
Yeah,
and there's 13 titles.
There's 2. Yeah, I mean, not every championship can be on the line, but it's the tag titles. It's like the world tag titles. You want to see?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tag team should be treated. Tag team wrestling should be treated pretty seriously. I agree.
They deserve more respect.
We had
Rodney Dangerfield would be very upset.
Yeah, he's sitting over there. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I do. We had him on the show once.
Yeah,
he was the gimmick.
No respect, just like the Motor City Machine Guns, man. No respect.
I heard that they are allegedly coming to AEW.
Okay.
But I haven't looked into that in a few days. But apparently there was a signing of 2 people, and so it was a toss up between them and the New Day. But people were thinking it was going to be the Machine Gun. So I don't know. We'll see. Big Kev, by the way, said the Mexican Muscle Buster is shown off on AAA a little bit. So we had never seen it because we don't normally watch AAA, but apparently Big Kev is a big fan.
Okay. I'll definitely pop in more for some Ray Phoenix matches.
Yeah, also, we should, man. AAA is getting hot.
Mr. Iguana is funny.
Yeah, I've not seen him in the. not seen him in a while. He may have already had his 5 minutes.
Okay, so, all right, moving along. Gunther tells Nick Aldis his pick for the special guest referee is the last real good guy, Sami Zayn. That's right. Next week's main event is Gunther versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, and Sami Zayn is the special guest referee. Trick Williams and Little Yachty come out, and there's a little white kid dressed like Trick Williams. I don't know if you caught that, and Trick acknowledges him, gives him a little fist bump and whatnot. And
yeah,
that was fun. Anyways, Trick says some catchphrases, then he's interrupted by Ricky Saints and Carmelo Hayes, who both want title shots. Lots of arguing and some fighting. Moving along, Solo still trying to recruit Royce Keys. I don't know how long they're going to drag this out. Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton versus B-Fab and Michin. Not much to say here. This is more about just progressing the odd couple friendship of Chelsea and Tiffany. And then post-match, looks like Jade Cargill is going to come after Tiffany Stratton now. Perhaps pivoting from Rhea Ripley getting injured. The heels go over when Michin hits the Styles Clash on Chelsea. Kiana James and Julia breakup is on. Julia hits Kiana with a slap. Finn bumps into Tama Tonga backstage, which is a bit of a Bullet Club reunion. And
One
Sammy
second,
tells
Slick Vic. Did you see Jade Cargill's wig fall off?
Yeah. Was that
match?
was that SmackDown or was that Raw?
I think it was SmackDown.
Okay. Yeah.
Was it was it Raw?
No, I think you're right.
Know.
I think it was SmackDown. I can't recall now.
That was the big takeaway from that match. It was, I think, SmackDown.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So then Sammy tells Cody good luck next week. And then L.A. Damas predicted the whole bloodline stuff. I don't know if you call it L.A. Knight calling himself L.A. Damas or like Nostradamus.
Yeah. Poor L.A. Knight, I swear to God.
Man. And then we got the main event, which is the men's fatal four-way for the King of the Ring. I guess this is the still the first round matches. I thought Finn looked great here in his SmackDown debut. By the way, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Finn Balor, Royce Keys. I feel like he got to shine the most. Keys got to show off some power, and I like that the other three hit the Shield power bomb on Keys, and then Jey Uso wins. Like Charlotte from earlier, I'm not that excited about it, but it was an all right match. There's lots of threads going on here with Royce Keys and Solo Sikoa. Jimmy Uso even came out. LA Knight took the pin. And Finn Balor looked great. That is the main event and the conclusion to SmackDown. Mr. Mosley, any final musings about SmackDown?
Well, that King of the Ring match, the ending sucked. I hate that Jey Uso won. I think I had Balor winning that one, and I had Balor winning the whole thing, but man, just another sucky ending to this King of the Ring deal. 2 big matches on SmackDown, and we get Charlotte Flair winning, which I love Charlotte Flair, don't get me wrong. I just like a surprise every now and again, and that is not a surprise. It's like, hey, here's some more of the same. And then Jey Uso winning. I mean, Jey Uso sucked as the world champion. I don't see him as a world champion. I'm sorry, but I just don't. And I'm over the yeeting. I'm over all that crap. It's kind of been going on way too long. He's a little bit more interesting now that they're doing the bloodline thing, so he's got that sort of heel side to him now, which I like. But give me any 3 of the other guys in this match, and I would be happier.
Same.
If they would have won. So
yeah, I think I picked Finn to win this too. I mean, Finn's new on SmackDown. We haven't seen much of him lately, and you have something to do. But Jey Uso, great.
Big Kev says he would have liked to seen LA Knight win. Me too, man. I mean, I'm to the point where, like, honestly, I've kind of given up singing LA Knight's praises because it's overly obvious how much the crowd likes him and is into him and has people that support him and want to see him succeed, and he just doesn't. He just gets the shaft over and over and over, and it's like, well, I'll tell you what it is. So, poor LA Knight, that's all I got to say. He's just like lingering around backstage, getting in everybody's business for weeks and weeks and weeks. We finally see him in a match, and he loses. So, that's my thoughts.
Well, what do you say we shift gears now to Monday Night Raw?
Let's go. Monday Night Raw from June the 15th was in Baltimore, Maryland. And the show started with an in-ring segment. If I get any of this out of order, by the way, I had watched like an hour and a half of the show, and then my littlest one came in and messed with the remote and started the whole show over. So like I was sitting there trying to figure out where I was. And anyway, the bloodline come to the ring, and Roman gives Jacob his very own Ulafala, welcomes him to the bloodline, officially welcomes him to the bloodline. And as they are leaving, comedian Eric Andre is in the crowd, front row, dabs up Roman, Jimmy, then tries with Jacob, but instead he gets dragged over the barricade, thrown in the ring. Management comes down to the ring to try and stop Jacob, and Roman for a moment is also like, stop, he's trying to tell him to stop. As Jacob is climbing up on the turnbuckle, then Roman's like, all right, go ahead. So Jacob splashes him, and then he gives him another one for good measure. And that's the opening to Monday Night Raw. So, more celebrities, yay. Anyway, it was a cool segment. I'm not going to lie. It was kind of cool. But I could do without all the celebrity stuff. Up next, we have a match. This is Queen of the Ring semifinals. Io Sky taking on Raquel Rodriguez. And I wasn't a real big fan of this match, Slick Vic. I believe, for one reason, because I had Raquel winning this one. And two, she sold way too much for Io Sky here. She should not have been selling that much for Io Sky. It just took the belief right out of it for me. This is a semifinals match. So Io Sky wins and advances to the finals. So, again, more of the same. Io Sky's in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Wow. So it's going to be either Liv Morgan or Charlotte Flair taking on Io Sky. And either one of those two situations, I could care less. So I'm checked out of this Queen of the Ring deal. Moving on, we get a backstage segment where Liv Morgan is trying to sway Danhausen into cursing. I guess, was she trying to get her to get him to curse Charlotte ahead of her match against Roxanne later?
I don't know if they actually delved into it. And Danhausen just kind of cut her off and ran with it.
She said opponent, but I didn't catch if she was talking about Charlotte. She must have been talking about Charlotte, because they set up this match where Roxanne is going to take on Charlotte later. But Danhausen is not affected by Liv's brand of persuasion, I put. So she's starting to get all skimpy and get all up next to Danhausen, and he just doesn't care, because he's Danhausen. And then he lists a bunch of stuff that she'll need to do in order for him to do the curse, most of which includes a lot of human monies. And there's several other things, like appearing in her music video and him getting his own music video and all this stuff. So Liv ends up walking off as Danhausen is rattling off all of his Demandhausens, and so no curse for Liv. Up next, we have another backstage segment. Chad Gable cuts a promo before heading out to the ring. And as he's heading to the ring, he passes Maxine Dupree talking to Austin Theory backstage. This was interesting at first when we very first saw Maxine in the back of that vehicle. And I'm thinking this is going to go somewhere. And then another thing happened where she was like defending them while she was standing there with Otis and Akira Tozawa. But now it's to the point to where it's being dragged and dragged and dragged. Maxine shows up for a 5-second appearance on the show, and then that's it. And it's like, this has been going on for a month now. So it's like I said last episode, some storylines, they drag out way too long. Some storylines, they rush. There's no middle ground here, and this is one that's just being dragged out. By the way, Chad Gable's coming out for a match against Rusev, and he's got the shittiest entrance music ever. Last week, they let him have his old music, and we thought he was getting it back. No, now they've changed it to something that sucks, and I don't like it. But this leads to a match between Chad Gable and Rusev, and long story short, Gable wins. He taps Rusev out to the ankle lock. Post-match, Ethan Page and Rusev beat down Chad Gable, and somebody came to save him, but I had to get up and piss, so I didn't catch who came out to save him. Was it Penta? Or Rey Mysterio?
It was Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio, yeah. Okay, one of the Mexican guys. Yes.
And Dragon Lee.
Okay, so there's more of that. More of that. All right, what do we got left here? We got a few things left here. Let's look at a couple other things real quick, Slick Vic, and I'll get your thoughts. Backstage segment. So we see Roman Reigns in the back. He's talking to the Usos, telling them that they all need to be on the same page with Jacob. So there's some dissension going on. Jacob doesn't want the Usos telling him what to do. He doesn't really respect them that much, but he respects Roman, and he's accepted the fact that Roman is his tribal chief. He just doesn't really want to be, close to the Usos, apparently. But Roman's trying to tell them they all need to be on the same page. And then he mentions LA Knight, and he asks, why has no one done anything about LA Knight? And Roman says, well, maybe they should send the werewolf. After this, we get a pre-recorded segment where Braun Breaker cuts a promo, and we find out that he will face Seth Rollins in a steel cage match at Night of Champions. Well, actually, yes, one of those men is technically holding a belt, so I guess he would technically be a champion, but this is not a championship match of any kind, so. Slick Vic, I'm going to pause right there. We'll go ahead and get your thoughts before we move on. Talked about a lot of things here, a lot of segments mostly leading up to, and then we got that match with Chad Gable and Rusev, and then the Queen of the Ring semifinals. What are your thoughts, sir?
Well, I thought the opening segment with the Bloodline was actually pretty good. Roman's great. Roman's fantastic. He carries himself like a champ, and he's good on the mic. I always look forward to Roman Reigns talking, and the crowd just is 100% behind him. As much as I was unhappy with Jey Uso winning, I do like hothead Jey Uso, who's yelling at everybody, and then you got level-headed Jimmy. Roman went on to praise them all, and he was going through he was talking about the Wild Samoans, then Yokozuna, and then Rikishi, and I was like, "Where's the Haku reference? Come on!" Like
he conveniently skipped over The Rock too.
Man, but especially because Jacob's doing the Tongan death grip. You couldn't give us a Haku reference, like when it's 8. I guess he did that time when he's like, you don't bust out the Tongan death grip unless it's 3 a.m. and it's 8-1 at a bar or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, but when what's that guy's name? Eric Andre?
Yeah, the comedian.
I'll be honest, I have no idea who this guy is. But when he started ruffling the Ulafala and then Jacob beat the shit out of him, I popped really fucking hard. But of course, the WWE
nice necklace, pal.
Yeah, of course, WWE security is absolutely useless. Like, why did they get in the ring just to go no, and then there's like
they always do that.
It's
they
so
always
stupid.
Do that, and then when he jumped, they all moved out of the way so he could crush Eric Andre in the middle of the ring.
It's so stupid. I remember when Bronson Reed was like doing that to Seth Rollins weekly, like a couple of years ago. He hit him with like 6 or 7 tsunamis. I'm like, that was so stupid. Yeah. Anyways. Io Sky and Raquel Rodriguez. Man, I really wanted Big Sexy to win this match. Like, I feel like there's more compelling storylines to tell with her winning, especially with Liv Morgan also in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
But they went with Io Sky, and like you, I'm really not looking forward to Io Sky versus Charlotte or Liv Morgan, to be honest with you. So, whatever. What happens if Liv Morgan wins the whole thing? She can just challenge Rhea Ripley and be Becky 2 belts?
Maybe. I don't know what happens in that situation, which is why I'm really not expecting it to happen. Because if Liv is going to keep that title, and assuming the injury doesn't make Rhea drop hers, they'll fight at, Crown Jewel eventually anyway? When is Crown Jewel? Probably sometime after SummerSlam?
Probably,
that'll happen. So, I don't know. I hope Liv doesn't win, but I'm kind of to the point where, like, I would rather her win just to see what happens. Out of the three potentials at this point, since Raquel didn't win, I really don't care, but sure. I'm just as curious as anybody else.
Is LA Knight stuck feuding with the Bloodline as a side story, like a side quest for the rest of his career? It just seems like he's always feuding with the Usos or somebody other than Roman, like a lesser important feud.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
All right. The Chad Gable versus Rusev, not surprising, but always impressive is Chad's strength. That dude was tossing Rusev around like he was a bunny rabbit, like a rag doll or whatever you want to call it. Impressive. By the way, you ever seen Bloodsport, the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie? You ever notice Rusev is totally doing Chong Li's taunt? He's going.
I never put the two and two together. No.
That just occurred to me yesterday. Go back and watch Rusev taunting towards the crowd, and then go watch any scene with Chong Li from Bloodsport.
Yeah, I remember it now that you mentioned it. Yeah, I just never connected the dots there.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got here? Yeah, I think that's where we left off. Is it not?
Yeah.
Match itself,
pretty much.
The Chad and Rusev match, to be honest with you, it was run of the mill for me. Nothing special.
Yeah. What do you think about Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker in a steel cage at Night of Champions?
I'm not as excited for this feud as I was when they both got healthy. I thought their two previous matches were okay. They weren't bad or anything, but they were just okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm not expecting much more out of this one. I think it's because they had really kind of a good potential storyline going between them, and they should have saved it for some kind of big event. Instead, we've got a couple of decent matches, and now we're going to a steel cage match, and you don't get the feeling that this is going to be like the blow off. So, yeah. All right. After that, actually, let's go and take a look at what Big Kev has said here. He's got a couple of things to say.
Big Kev, what's up, man?
Yeah. He said that, well, let me go back a little bit. LA Knight or Finn, those guys rock. I'd love to see either of them as world champ. Yeah, I say give LA Knight his chance. I've learned to always bet on Io Sky. I guess, yeah, I just want to see something different. Props to Big Sexy Raquel Rodriguez. It would have been a good story to have Raquel win, yes, as we've mentioned.
Yes.
And I said in the last episode, that's who I had going all the way. I wanted to see her take on Liv in the finals. He's amped for babyface Chad Gable. I am too, especially after the mask versus mask match, and as great as that match was, and as much praise as that match got. I want to see them use that praise well for Chad. So hopefully they will.
Yeah.
He said he'll send us some Eric Andre stuff. He's absolutely insane and funny. He's playing Don Savage in the new Street Fighter movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember them saying he was going to be in Street Fighter, which is why him and Roman were so buddy.
Yeah, I've seen some of his comedy. He is funny. He's a funny dude. But, I don't know. I'm kind of in the camp that's just, I don't care who shows up. If it's a celebrity, I'm just checked out at this point. It's overkill. So, if he's fine in his own world, and it's kind of funny seeing him getting crushed and splashed in the ring. But, yeah. All right, up next on Monday Night Raw, LA Knight comes out to the ring. We talked about him earlier, Roman mentioning that somebody needs to do something about him. So now LA Knight's going to come to the ring. He's going to air some grievances. And he ends up getting interrupted by Jimmy Uso. And, Jimmy has been more trying to be friendly with LA Knight than Jay has. Jay is, very antagonistic towards LA Knight, but Jimmy's sort of the level-headed one here. So Jimmy comes out. He tries to explain that Solo isn't with the Bloodline and that things are different now. Then Jay comes out and tells Knight that he's better than him and he should acknowledge him. Knight tells Jay to kiss his ass. They fight, and Knight gets the better, but Jimmy ends up super kicking LA Knight. Jay grabs a chair, but Jimmy tries to talk him down. Then Knight gets the chair and hits both the Usos. Then Jacob shows up, slaps on the Tongan death grip, and leaves him laying in the ring. Then we have Charlotte Flair versus Roxanne Perez. And this is a precursor to what we will eventually see, which is Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan in the semifinals. And Charlotte Flair beats her. Charlotte Flair wins that match. Enough said. In-ring segment next, Javon Evans comes to the ring to talk about advancing in the King of the Ring tournament, but Logan Paul and Austin Theory end up coming out. So the announcers are losing their minds that Logan Paul's back. I'm just like, okay. He's in a brace, an arm brace, so he's not yet medically cleared to compete, but he demands that Javon Evans joins the Vision. Why? I don't know. Javon turns him down, and we end up getting a match of Javon Evans versus Austin Theory, which ends with Braun Breaker spearing Javon out of the air, causing a DQ. That was a cool spot. The rest of the match was just... It was good. I mean, Austin Theory's good in the ring. Javon's always exciting to watch in the ring, but, you know, this was going to end some kind of screwy way, and it did. Now, we have the finale, the main event, the King of the Ring semifinals match between Oba Femi and Dominic Mysterio. So last week I said this was going to be when Brock Lesnar shows up and costs Oba his shot at the King of the Ring crown. Spoiler alert, I was wrong. So Dom runs away most of this match. He ends up getting the ring bell hammer and loading his boot. He hits, he kicks Femi in the nuts, and then he follows up with a 619, and then he hits with a frog splash, but he only gets a 1 count. JD McDonough tries to sneak in a shot and ends up getting pulled in the ring and pummeled along with Dom. So most of this, fiasco after Dom gets done running away is Femi beating up both guys. Femi ends up hitting Dom with a pizza toss. I heard Joe Tess call it a pizza toss. That like power bomb where he doesn't actually power bomb him, he just launches them. So that's what I'm calling it until we get a new name. And a fall from grace for the win. So post-match, Femi cuts a promo saying he will win King of the Ring no matter his opponent in the finals. He also calls out Brock Lesnar saying he thought he would show up tonight, me too, but he will just be remembered as the man who ran away from Oba Femi. So Slick Vic, that is Monday Night Raw. We have Oba Femi now advancing to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. Your thoughts?
All right. That LA Knight promo was great. Him and the Usos, good stuff. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very entertaining. Charlotte and Roxanne Perez didn't do much for me. Although I did get a little laugh when Charlotte was doing her chops, and then she yells, "Duck!" for the last one. Austin Theory and Javon.
Too much.
Yeah, that'll be there. That move that Austin Theory hit, they call it ataxia or something like that. That looked great.
Yeah.
But this really didn't do much for me either. Probably because we know Javon was not going to lose before his match with Jay. Similarly, like with Charlotte, we know she's not going to lose before Liv Morgan. And then there was this segment. Roman Reigns asked for Jacob for a favor. He whispered into his ear.
Yeah.
I wonder what the favor is.
I didn't mention that. I don't know. I was gonna try to find out if anybody could pick up on what he was whispering, but I never did. I never looked into it, so I'm not sure.
Not sure. I don't know either. I mean, who else is on Roman's radar? Anybody?
Well, was this before the LA Knight deal? Because there was them saying maybe we should send the werewolf, and then Jacob ends up coming out and putting the Tongan death grip on LA Knight, but I don't remember if this was before or after that happened.
I think it was after.
So I think so too.
Yeah. And then the Oba and Dominic match, well, that was fine. It was booked well. It was booked as I think it should have been. And entertaining. Oba's post match saying he thought Brock was going to be here today was exactly how I felt. And it turns out, I think we all felt this, because is Brock going to just show up at Saudi Arabia just to cost Oba Femi the match?
Well, that you did say last week that you think that he'll cost him the finals, or maybe it was originally you thought that that's when he would show up. But I was thinking it was going to be on Raw. So I don't know.
I guess Brock's going to Saudi Arabia.
I guess so. Getting a huge payday. Makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's all, man. That is Monday night. That's my thoughts on Raw.
Those are the Raw thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Slick Vic, let's take a quick look at the King and Queen of the Ring brackets. We've already pretty much talked about them. And after this, we'll take us a slick pause for the cause. But right now, let's see. So we have Oba Femi advancing to the finals. And then on the other side of things, we still have to find out who is going to win between Javon Evans and Jey Uso. I'd rather it be Jimmy, to be honest. What do you think, Slick Vic? Let's make some more predictions here. Who do you got for Evans versus Uso?
Well, because it's going to be against Oba Femi, I'm going to say Jey Uso.
Okay.
And then
I
man.
think
Does that mean that Jey Uso's going to win the whole thing? Because if Brock Lesnar interferes as we predict, then I guess Jey Uso wins it.
There's no good outcome here other than Oba Femi winning, because I don't want to see Jey Uso win. I don't even want to see him win the semifinals match. I want to see Javon win the semifinals match and go on to Night of Champions. Not like he has a chance in hell against Oba Femi, but if Oba Femi ends up winning this whole thing, then at least give Javon his shine, and maybe we can get something else out of Jay losing. Maybe that somebody gets involved and that creates another storyline somewhere. But it begs the question, if Brock Lesnar shows up and gets involved in this and costs Oba Femi the finals, then you're looking at either Javon Evans or Jey Uso being the King of the Ring. And to be honest with you, I don't want to see either one of them as King of the Ring, because I don't want to see either one of them in a World Championship match. Because, look, the winner of this becomes King of the Ring, gets a world title match at SummerSlam, right? So they get to pick who they're going to go against. So if Jey Uso wins, naturally he's going to pick the WWE champion, because he's not going to pick Roman. I don't want to see that, because I would rather see it be Femi. It needs to be Oba Femi. All right, so the Queen of the Ring tournament, we got Liv Morgan versus Charlotte Flair to determine who is going to go to that side of the finals. We already know that they're going to be facing Io Sky. Slick Vic, what do you think, man?
Man, you know how I've been wrong, I think, about every single pick on this bracket for the women. I said JC Jane was going to go all the way.
Yeah.
Nope. So my instinct tells me to pick Liv Morgan. I'm going to go against my instincts and just say Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
And then I'll say, let's see, Charlotte versus Rhea, or Charlotte versus Liv Morgan. I mean, they're already going to have a match.
They're already having the match. Yeah.
Well, I can definitely see another Charlotte and Rhea Ripley match.
Yeah. I would be down for that.
Yeah. Otherwise, let's see. Liv Morgan wins and then just celebrates, or goes on to challenge Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The booking is just so weird. So
according to Big Kev, you learn you never vote, or you never bet against Io Sky here, but I'm gonna have to say, okay. So there's three options. right? There's either Liv Morgan wins, Charlotte Flair wins, or Io Sky wins. Out of those three options, the one I want to see the least is Io Sky winning this thing. Charlotte Flair, I would be fine with because we get to see Charlotte and Rhea again. Would be cool. Or Charlotte Flair wins and she turns around and decides to face Liv Morgan, because if she wins against Liv in the semifinals, did she already know she can beat her? So why not pick her? And then, of course, Liv Morgan wins and she's the champion already. So where does it go from there? Which creates an interesting a mystery. So I'd be okay with either of those two things, either Charlotte or Liv winning, but not Io Sky. And truth be told, it'll probably be Io Sky winning that one because it's fucking lame. But that's the King and Queen of the Ring brackets. Slick Vic, what do you say we take a pause for the cause before we wrap this up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. Be right back. We're back from that pause for the cause, and we're going to talk about this week in wrestling history. Our resident historian himself, Slick Vic, the Oracle of the Crystal Ball, is going to tell us all about what happened this week in wrestling history.
Well, let me start with something that I remember because I was actually there. Don't tell me about it. I was there. This is WWE Payback was in Chicago. WWE 2013, I should say, 2013 Payback. The only thing I really remember of this show, I'll go through the card, but the only thing I remember is the main event, which was John Cena versus Ryback in a 3 stages of hell match, where it made it to the third stage, which was an ambulance match, and it ended when they were both fighting on top of the roof of the ambulance, and John Cena hits a attitude adjustment. Ryback goes through the roof of the ambulance and lands in the back where you're supposed to land, where you're supposed to be to lose the match. And the bell rings. John Cena wins. Elsewhere on the show, yeah. I mean, do you happen to have any recollection of this event? Were you watching WWE at the time?
Yeah, I had to have been. I'm consistently watching WWE for the last, 30 years, but I don't remember that at all, to be honest with you.
You're forgiven. Like I said, all I remember was the main event. As I looked through the card, though, I do remember something else. The opening match featured a famous son of a wrestler we talk about a great deal amount here. He went by the name Curtis Axel. He went on to defeat Wade Barrett and The Miz in a triple threat match to win the Intercontinental Championship. Who is Curtis Axel the son of?
That's right. He's the son of Mr. Perfect. I can't say there's a whole lot of comparison between the two, though. Wasn't this during the time that they had the White Strap Classic Design Intercontinental Belt, too? I'm pretty sure it was.
Maybe.
I think this was after Cody brought back the White Strap version.
Elsewhere on the card, AJ Lee defeated Caitlyn to win the WWE Divas Championship. Dean Ambrose defeated Kane by countout to retain the U.S. Championship. Alberto Del Rio defeated Dolph Ziggler to win the World Heavyweight Championship. And CM Punk defeated Jericho. And The Shield, which was Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, defeated Team RK-No, Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan, to retain the tag titles.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so elsewhere this week in wrestling history, well, let's see. We've got quite a few. We got quite a few PLEs, actually, pay-per-views back in the day for us veterans. All right, so 2012, we had No Way Out held at the East Rutherford, New Jersey. Main event saw John Cena defeat The Big Show in a steel cage match with the stipulation was if John Cena won, then John Laurinaitis was fired. But if Cena lost, he would have been fired. CM Punk beat Daniel Bryan and Kane in a triple threat match to retain the WWE Championship. And let's see. Sheamus defeated Dolph Ziggler with a brogue kick to get the pin and retained the World Heavyweight Championship. Man, Dolph Ziggler is not having a good night in Chicago.
No.
All right. Actually, no, this was in East Rutherford. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Well, he's not having a good night anywhere he goes.
I'll tell you what, 2018 Money in the Bank, that was held in Chicago. Let's see, did Dolph Ziggler win his match on this show? All right. Daniel Bryan beat Big Cass via submission. Bobby Lashley defeated Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins defeated, he defeated Elias to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Remember Elias?
Yeah.
Like y'all, silence your cell phones, hold your applause, and shut your mouths, which I still maintain is a great line. Yeah.
I liked Elias.
Yeah.
I think they botched that.
They did. And, like he was like a precursor to Joe Hendry, only like a heel version of Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Anyways. Oh, man. WWE champion AJ Styles retained against Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. This feud was not good. This was a very disappointing feud, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was.
Man. So the main event, nut shots left galore. Anyways, the main event was Braun Strowman winning the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. This was also featuring Bobby Roode, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston, Rusev, Samoa Joe, and The Miz. Any memory at all of this Money in the Bank?
No, not specifically. So Braun Strowman won that? Did he go on? Who did he cash it in on?
Man, that's gonna require a little more history digging.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Lastly, let's go to June 18th, because we had another Money in the Bank. This is the year before. We got 2017. Oh, this was a very controversial one. I remember Carmella won the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match when James Ellsworth climbed the ladder to grab the briefcase and drop it like in her hands.
Yeah, Chince McMahon.
All right, so elsewhere on the card, the New Day, which was Big E and Kofi Kingston, beat the Usos. Naomi retained the SmackDown Women's Championship against Lana. Jinder Mahal pinned Randy Orton to retain the WWE Championship. And let's see, Baron Corbin outlasted AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. See, I don't even remember who didn't Baron Corbin, was he one of those people that cashed it in and then lost?
Yep. Well, that's what I was looking at. Apparently Braun, when you said that Braun had won, he lost his cash in apparently. But I'm not seeing if he won more than once or anything. But yeah, I think Baron Corbin also took the L for that one.
Well, that's your week in wrestling history, man. A lot of unmemorable PLEs.
Yeah, a lot of those last 15 years PLEs that just kind of all blend together. But thank you, Slick Vic, very much for that week in wrestling history. Let's move on to the main event of the evening, what everybody's been waiting for. We're breaking out the old World Wrestling Entertainment Trivia book, complete with Trish Stratus's massive titties down there, and the highlighter of power. So I was actually going to, I had a section picked out that I was going to do tonight, but I decided last minute I'm going to let Slick Vic choose which section he wants. And now, I may pick the subsection because there are subsections in this, but we're going to do some trivia once again. And Slick Vic, I'll read the contents for you. Go over them real quick. We got WrestleMania, Raw, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, SmackDown, Survivor Series, pay-per-view, which is just, I guess, minor pay-per-views maybe, because it already lists some of the major ones. We got old school titles outside the ring. Those are your choices, Slick Vic. So,
Man,
while we do that, did you have a question?
there's no King of the Ring category or anything close to that?
I'd say King of the Ring probably falls in the pay-per-view section because the only specific pay-per-view sections is SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and Mania.
I have not picked that category in the past, correct?
Pay-per-view? Let me check. Survivor Series. Where's pay-per-view? 169. I'm not sure. I remember at one time we actually went through picking like random questions out of different sections, so there's a possibility that we went over some. Yes, we did pay-per-view. We did, let me see, the first 20 questions, which were name that pay-per-view. Yep. And then it goes on to like No Way Out, Backlash, Judgment Day, King of the Ring, Fully Loaded, Unforgiven, No Mercy, In Your House, and other events.
Well, ask me the King of the Ring questions from there.
King of the Ring? All right, let's find some music. I know I got some music for this.
I know exactly what you got.
Wrestling with Trivia. No way. All right, Slick Vic. King of the Ring. It looks like there are a bunch of questions. We'd probably get through all of these, I would say.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, Slick Vic is in the hot seat once again. We're going to be asking him some questions about King of the Ring. And just to remind everybody, this is from the Ultimate World Wrestling Entertainment Trivia book, which was released in 2002. So keep that in mind. We're about 25 years removed from any of these questions being new. All right, Slick Vic. First question. By winning his fifth WWE title at King of the Ring 2000, The Rock tied the WWE record. Who originally set the record? A. Bret Hart, B. Hulk Hogan, or C. Gorilla Monsoon? You'll have to bear with me just a moment while I find the answers page here just to verify.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. I won the title 5 times, dude. I don't care what anyone says about WrestleMania 9. That's what the crowd wanted. So that's what they got, Jack. Hulk Hogan was the first 5-time World Wrestling Federation champion.
All right, Slick Vic. Good job. You guessed Hulk Hogan. And it is Hulk Hogan. Let me pop the old highlighter of power out here. See, I'm out of practice, Slick Vic.
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan was the correct answer. Next question. In what type of match did Stone Cold Steve Austin lose the WWE Championship to Kane at King of the Ring in 1998? A. Iron Man. B. Inferno. C. First Blood.
First Blood. Final answer.
All right. Good call, Slick Vic. believe Kane held the title for an entire 24 hours.
Yep.
At that point. True or false, X-Pac has never participated in the King of the Ring tournament.
False.
Slick Vic says false. Survey says...
Fucking bullshit!
The answer was true.
Wait, who was it? What was the question
X-Pac.
again? X-Pac has never...
True or false, X-Pac has never competed, never participated in the King of the Ring tournament.
Well, does the 1, 2, 3 kid count? Because look up the bracket for the '94 King of the Ring. The finals was Owen and Owen and the kid. I call bullshit on this question.
So you're saying that because it was the 1, 2, 3 kid that it doesn't count, right?
I'm assuming so.
Okay,
because,
let's do a little searching here.
Pull up the bracket. If you
so
can,
I'm seeing King of the Ring 2000 on the June 19th episode of Raw. Swore the Dudleys cost X-Pac a King of the Ring tournament match against WWF Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit.
Okay.
And King of the Ring semifinal match, X-Pac versus Road Dogg.
So there you go.
So he's competed. He's been in several, apparently.
Yeah.
In the tournament.
That book is wrong.
No, the book is right. It says true. Wait a second. X-Pac has never participated in the King of the Ring tournament.
The answer is true?
The answer is false. But wait a second.
See?
When did this take place? King of the Ring 2000. Road Dogg, X-Pac, Tori, D-Generation X match figure concluding. You know what? You may be right about that, Slick Vic. We're not going to count that one against you because that one is potentially wrong. Slick Vic, X-Pac has never competed in a King of the Ring tournament. Well, that's fucking bullshit. All right, next question. I'll tell you what. I don't have a pen, or I would make a mark next to that. We would correct it. Next question. True or false? The Hulkster's last match before leaving the WWE was at the original King of the Ring.
True.
Slick Vic says true. Survey says that is true. I'll have to go back and fix number 83. Who did The Rock face in the semifinal round of the King of the Ring 1998 tournament? Hint. You get a hint with this one. The Rock was victorious and advanced to the finals where he lost to Ken Shamrock. A. Vader, B. D'Lo Brown, or C. Dan Severn?
Shit. That's a tough one. I'm going to go with Dan Severn.
You're going to say Dan Severn. According to the questionable book, you are correct.
Oh! All right.
Dan Severn. Wow, okay. Next question. Who did Ken Shamrock face in the semifinal round of the King of the Ring 1998 tournament? A. Billy Gunn, B. Shawn Michaels, or C. Jeff Jarrett?
I'm going to go Billy Gunn.
Sorry, Slick Vic. The answer, according to the book, is Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, fuck. I'll take the L there.
Next question. Who is the opponent of WWE Champion Undertaker at the King of the Ring 1999? A. The Rock, B. Kurt Angle, or C. Kane?
I'm going to go with Kurt Angle. No, wait. No, that's not my final answer. No. Because Kurt debuted at Survivor Series later that year. Wait. Read me the choices again, please.
All right. Billy Gunn, Shawn I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. Who is the opponent of WWE Champion Undertaker at King of the Ring 99? The Rock, Kurt Angle, or Kane?
I'm going to go with The Rock. Final answer.
Says The Rock. Slick Vic got it right. The great one. Well, Slick Vic, so far, you've only missed one because we're not counting that one bullshit question. You're on a roll. Who won the first King of the Ring tournament featured on pay-per-view?
Bret the Hitman Hart.
We talked about that on the last episode, actually. Good job, Slick Vic. Next question. Who did Kurt Angle defeat to win the King of the Ring 2000? A. Billy Gunn, B. Rikishi, or C. Test?
I believe it was Rikishi.
And you are right again, sir. Good job. You're crushing these late 90s questions. Who did Mabel defeat to win the King of the Ring in 1995? There are no multiple choice for this one.
I know the answer. It's well, I think I know the answer. Is it Savio Vega?
You are correct, sir. It is Savio Vega. Good job. The no multiple choice, crushing it, Slick Vic. Where was the first King of the Ring held? There's no multiple choice for this one.
Shit. Oh man, can you give me a hint?
I don't really know how to give you a hint on this one. Where was the first King of the Ring held?
Is it
I can tell you this: if you guess one of like the big, well-known places, you're probably going to get it wrong.
Okay. Can I get? Would you consider this part of the South?
No.
Okay. Oh, man.
It's definitely northeastern.
Okay.
U.S.
Let's go with what's that town? Hartford, Connecticut.
Slick Vic says Hartford, Connecticut for the first King of the Ring, and apparently, Slick Vic, you are wrong on that one. It was Dayton, Ohio. Dayton, Ohio. Yeah. What happens there? Who knows? Next question. Who was China's opponent in the first round of the King of the Ring in 1999? Again, no multiple choice.
I don't think this was the first round, but I'm going to go with the Road Dogg.
Slick Vic says Road Dogg, and Slick Vic, you got that one right.
Because I remember he
also
wore
says
a cup.
He doesn't think that was first round, but I don't know.
I remember he was wearing a cup because he was anticipating China to give him a low blow. So he pulls out the cup. I mean, he gets the nut shot, but then China is selling her hand. Oh. And then Road Dogg pulled the cup out.
Smart on him. Next question. The only competitors to ever win the WWE title at King of the Ring were, in chronological order, blank, blank, and blank.
Oh, shit.
No multiple choice, Slick Vic. So let me read that into you again. The only competitors to ever win the WWE title at King of the Ring were, and you have to list them in chronological order, blank, blank, and blank.
Okay. First one is Yokozuna.
You got that one.
Okay. Second one, I'm going to go Kane.
Okay. You got that one.
Shit. Okay. All right. I mean, hell yeah. Man, last one. All right. So Kane was that was 99 or 98. 99 was, God, what was on the card? 99. That was 99 was won by Billy Gunn. 2000 was won by Kurt Angle. Was it The Rock in 99?
Slick Vic, you pulled one out. Wow, good job, man. Yes, Yokozuna, Kane, and The Rock were the answers there.
Great success.
Slick move, sir. Slick move. Next question. True or false? The King of the Ring tournament was once used to determine a new WWE champion. True or false?
False.
All right. Good job, Slick. Crushing these King of the Ring questions here. We only got about 6 left. I think we can power through them. The only King of the Ring at which the WWE title was not on the line was the 1995 edition. At that event, WWE champion Diesel teamed up with Blank to take on Psycho Sid and Blank.
Oh, man.
So at the 95 King of the Ring, the champ Diesel instead was in a tag team match. Who is his partner, and who did Psycho Sid partner up with against them?
Okay. For Diesel, I believe it was Bam Bam Bigelow.
You got that one.
All right. For
One
Sid.
part left.
Shit. Bam Bam. Tatanka.
Slick Vic says Bam Bam Bigelow teamed up with Diesel, and Psycho Sid teamed up with Tatanka. You got it right.
If I had gotten one of those wrong, would I get like half a point or anything? Or
no, this is what no.
It's all or nothing.
We got to draw the line somewhere. The odds are heavily in your favor here, Slick Vic. Next question. The 2001 edition of King of the Ring took place in what venue? 2001. Well, you got multiple choice here.
Okay.
A, Continental Airlines Arena. B, Gund Arena. Or C, Joe Louis Arena.
I have no idea. The Gund Arena.
Fucking bullshit!
Well, that was at the Continental Airlines Arena, Slick Vic. You're still on a hell of a roll, though, sir. Looks like, well, let me see. One. You've only missed, no, you missed 2 questions so far, Slick Vic. 3, including that one. Still doing pretty good. Next question, true or false? No superstar has ever won more than one King of the Ring tournament. The hell did my answer page go?
That's true.
Yes.
I don't think there's.
Yeah, no
I don't think there's
superstar
ever
has won more than one. Yeah, you got it right, Slick Vic. That is true. Good job. Once again. We got 3 questions left, Slick Vic. Pressure's on. Which one of the following never won King of the Ring? A, Edge, B, Triple H, or C, The Rock?
The Rock.
Once again. Killing it. Killing it, Slick Vic. I'm going to run out of highlighter. Next question. What current superstar made his pay-per-view debut at the first King of the Ring in 1993? A, Billy Gunn, B, Hardcore Holly, or C, Goldust?
Which superstar made his debut at the 93 King of the Ring?
Yep. Billy Gunn, Hardcore Holly, or Goldust?
I'm going to go with Billy Gunn.
You are right about that. Yes. I knew if you thought for a second, you'd get that one. All right, so the last question, Slick Vic, and I know you're going to nail this. Who did Owen Hart defeat in the finals of the King of the Ring 1994 tournament?
Wasn't that the 1-2-3 kid?
Well, let me give you the options, okay? I'll play it fair and give you the options here.
Shit.
A, Mr. Perfect, B, Razor Ramon, or C, Savio Vega?
Ah, motherfucker. It was Razor Ramon, wasn't it?
It was Razor Ramon. You got that one right.
All right.
I'm not going to count. I'm not going to count 1, 2, 3 against you, but you did say earlier that was 1, 2, 3 kids. So we'll get a double check on that one.
I'm looking up that bracket right now. Yeah. Okay. Owen and Razor in the finals.
We have an audible called here.
Yeah, but 1, 2,
challenge, 1, 2, 3 flag on the play.
1, 2, 3 kid and Owen Hart did face off in the semifinals.
All right. So we have confirmation there. So Slick Vic, you had 20 questions here. Or 19 questions, one or the other. And you looks like you missed, well, we won't count this one. The true or false, X-Pac has never participated in the King of the Ring tournament. Again, this book did come out in 2002, but we confirmed that was incorrect. Survey said that was true, and it was false. You also missed, who did Ken Shamrock face in the semifinal round of the King of the Ring tournament? I don't remember who you said, but that was, wasn't that Jarrett? I'm sure that was Jarrett, I believe.
I think I picked the wrong answer for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Jarrett. And where was the first King of the Ring held? Dayton, Ohio. I bet you'll remember that from now on.
Yeah.
The 2001 edition of King of the Ring took place in what venue? The Continental Airlines Arena. So Slick Vic, good job once again at some trivia. You knocked it way out of the park. But you know what? It's time to call for the bell. And until next time, Trivia Book, we may see you next week.
Until we meet again.
Until we meet again. Slick Vic, good job on the trivia. Good job on the everything tonight. Solid show was had. Good stuff. And I think we wrapped it up quite nicely. I think we wrapped it up on a good note tonight. Kind of a stinker for WWE this week. A little bit of a letdown. But it's going to be interesting because in the next week, we're going to be finding out who's going to advance even further into that King of the Ring tournament and see how more broken our brackets can get. Everybody, remember to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/wrestlingwithpower. Over on YouTube, youtube.com/@wrestlingwithpower. And, of course, Spotify. Search up Wrestling with Power. You'll find us right there. Everyone, thanks for joining in. Big Kev, as always. Hope everybody stays powerful.
And I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Until we meet again.
Yeah!